Hi, I'm Jenna Zeilstra.
I'm Rooney.
And I'm Katie Rick. And we did a study to look at the feasibility of adding end zone seating to Milan Puskar Stadium for West Virginia University. For this feasibility study, the goal is to renovate the end zone seating for Milan Puskar Stadium in Morgantown, West Virginia. As of now, the southwest end zone has minimal seating, and we are looking to add many more seats as a revenue stream for the university. In the north end zone, we are looking to add a larger interactive scoreboard to enhance the in-game experience for fans.
This project will add 8 new sections of seating, which will add approximately 7,000 new seats. In addition to the scoreboard that we'll be adding, also the project total would probably cost about $20 million. After analyzing demographic and psychographic data and financing options, we'll determine whether or not this project is feasible for West Virginia University.
In order to determine if the expansion of the stadium seating will be a success, financing the renovations must be figured out. Similar project costs from other universities and stadium renovations allow a precise cost for financing this project. Since the renovation is taking place at a major university, funding can be acquired both privately and publicly. Obtaining this information will allow a precise projection of the revenue stream for expansion. A positive response to the renovations at this stadium will continue a steady stream of revenue for the university and enable debt to be paid off at a constant rate. The economic impact the project will have on the city will draw attraction to not only the stadium, but also the local businesses in Morgantown. Proper financial analysis will determine whether or not renovating the end zone seating at the stadium is beneficial to the city.
Doing the market analysis, we looked at an overview of municipalities, demographic and psychographic data, and venue data. For the overview of municipalities, we looked at the city of Morgantown and the county it's located in. Morgantown, West Virginia is located in the northern region of the state in Monongahela County. The county is home to 4 other cities: Granville, Star City, Westover, and Blacksville. The county is made up of 360.06 square miles and a little over 5 square miles of water. The county's population is 96,189, which is the 4th largest population in the state. The county's median income is $41,326. When looking at demographic and psychographic data, we looked at multiple tables, charts, and graphs to analyze the figures. The first table shows the population. Morgantown's population is roughly 1.7 of the state's population. Table B shows the different races in the state and city. The vast majority of the population is white, and only a small percent identifies as African American. A very small portion of the population identifies as Asian and Hispanic. Table C looks at the education of the citizens in the state and the city. It shows that while a majority of the state has earned at least a high school degree, only a small percentage has earned a bachelor's degree or higher. The city of Morgantown's percentage of those who have earned a bachelor's degree is higher than the state's percentage, and this shows that the education level in the city and state is quite low. Table D looks at the number of housing units and their income. The median income for the state and the city are low, and the city of Morgantown has a much lower median income than the state as a whole. This could be attributed to the fact that the city of Morgantown is mainly just a college town with part-time jobs held by students. The persons in poverty for the state and city are also both high. Graph E shows the distribution of races in the city of Morgantown, West Virginia. The majority of the population identifies themselves as white or Caucasian, while a smaller portion of the remaining population identifies as Asian, African American, Hispanic, or other. The largest ethnic group in the city is African American, followed by Asian and Hispanics. Graph F shows the distribution of the population of the state of West Virginia by their sex and age. As it shows, the distribution for both genders for ages are quite similar. The majority of the population is ages 20 to 60 years old, which is also the large portion of the fan base for college athletics. Graph G shows the population density of the state of West Virginia. The majority of the state shows the population density in the mid-range, which is the light blue shades, with the population density of 30.0 to 999.9. The density around Morgantown is the shades of darker blue, which has a population density of 1,000 to 29,181. This is larger because of the university being located in that city and having a large number of students and professors living around the area.
Venue data for this end zone expansion at West Virginia Stadium explores the addition of 8 upper-level sections between sections 222 and 202. The placement of these sections would be directly above sections 131 through 100 over the southwest and southeast gates. We envision having space between the addition of these new sections and existing sections to have a ramp on either side to go from ground level up to assist with disabled fans and their friends and family. In these new sections on the southwest end zone, we will be adding 7,296 seats. This new seating area will estimate a cost of about $10 million. In addition to the 8 new sections on the end zone, we are also looking to add a new, larger interactive scoreboard on the north gate of the stadium. This new scoreboard would extend from one end of the touchdown terrace to the other to improve the fan experience and increase attendance. The building and scoreboard is estimated to cost around $9.3 million, which will bring us up to a total cost of $20 million for these renovations.
As further description of this project, this study will realistically predict the feasibility of expanding West Virginia University's football stadium with emphasis on new end zone seating and relocation and improvement of an interactive scoreboard for the stadium. The expansion of upper-level seating will include 8 new sections that will attract fans from all over the state of West Virginia. Upgrades and relocating an improved interactive scoreboard on the north gate will enhance the fan experience and also draw more attention to the stadium. There will be an addition of 8 sections of fan seating on the upper south end of Millar-Pisgah Stadium. Additional seating will be beneficial as it will bring in more revenue and jobs to the area. Increased revenue will have a positive economic impact on the university and the surrounding areas of West Virginia. There will need to be more ushers and security to accommodate for the new sections and the new number of fans that will be attending these games. This will result in an increase of jobs just for the university and for the state of West Virginia itself. The West Virginia University's football stadium also has an outdated scoreboard. In addition to the seating expansion, there will be upgrades made to the scoreboard system. It will be relocated to the north side of the stadium to accommodate for the size increase as well as to improve its visibility to the fans. It will stretch from one end of the touchdown terrace to the other. Creating a new interactive scoreboard will greatly enhance fan experience for the games. There can be fan interaction as well as additional team media available to fans during the games. A new state-of-the-art scoreboard will also draw more attention to the stadium and the university as a whole, bringing in more value of its own.
When doing key project assumptions for this project, we look at financing options, revenue sources, and growth rates of income and expenses. To finance this project, it is forecasted that $1 million in donations will be generated for funding. This donation could come from alumni, season ticket holders, and donors. To further the funding, there are several types of bonds that will be beneficial in raising the necessary means to complete the project. The following types of bonds are going to be utilized in this study, each costing $6,333,334. They are athletic facility revenue bonds, higher education revenue bonds, and general obligation bonds. For revenue sources, this end zone expansion will create new revenue for the university and athletic department in multiple ways. One revenue stream that will be significantly increased is from ticket revenue. When adding the 7,296 seats at an estimated $100 pricing, that would increase for conference and rivalry matchup games. This project would generate an additional $729,600 for the university. Other sources of revenue that will result from taking on this project will be ancillary revenue. As more fans will be attending the games due to increased seating availability and draw to see the updated facility, various revenue sources will be influenced. The first is parking. As more fans are attracted to attend the games, they will have to find parking for tailgating and other pregame activities. Concessions will also increase by about $182,400, and merchandise sales are projected to go up by $725,000. Also, as a result to increase seating, the purchase of seat back cushions for fans to use during the games to have a more comfortable experience will increase revenue. It is forecasted that this will increase revenue by $182,400. When looking at the growth rates of income and expenses, we believe that the addition of seats to the stadium will create a steady stream of revenue for the university. As various sources of revenue are added to the financials, income will also increase from year to year. This project has a projected net income of $1,103,727 in the first year. It is also expected that expenses will remain relatively constant as we will be paying off the bond through interest expense each year. It is not anticipated that expenses will increase from year to year due to this project.
There will be an economic impact from our feasibility study on the University of West Virginia itself, the City of Morgantown, and the State of West Virginia. The expansion of the stadium will have a direct positive economic impact on the University of West Virginia. The additional revenue brought in from the stadium's expansion will go towards the university's athletic department. The athletic department will then be able to use the funds created from this revenue to go directly towards the university athletics. The City of Morgantown will also see a positive economic impact from the stadium's expansion. The expansion includes more seats, which will bring more spectators to attending games. These additional fans will be coming into the City of Morgantown. The additional tourism and attraction number will bring more revenue into restaurants, bars, hotels, and local attractions. The city itself will see a direct increase in revenue from an increase in people traffic. An increase in Morgantown tourism means an increase in state traffic as well. The state will see an economic impact from increased tourism. People from all across the state of West Virginia go to West Virginia football games. With an increase in game attendees, there will be an increase in traffic in West Virginia highways. The state will make more revenue from increased traffic on these highways through the form of tolls. Tolls are a great source of revenue for the state and will be positively impacted by the amount of traffic increase.
Based off our balance sheet, you can see an overview of our project's financials from 2015 to 2019. Cash starts at around $3 million in 2015 and increases by at least $1 to $2 million each year. Assets included the building and escrow from our bonds. The assets total $22 million to about $23 million over the span of our balance sheet. Our main source of owner's equity comes from gifts and donations totaling $2,373,356 each year. As you can see, our total liabilities and equity match our total assets each year, proving that our balance sheet does in fact balance.
Our income statement shows revenue and operating expenses. Our sources of revenue include tickets, concessions, parking, merchandise, seat backs, and donations. They total almost $3 million in the first year and continue to stay positive from 2016 to 2019. Our expenses include depreciation, interest expense on our 3 bonds, and employee salary, including security salaries expense. The total expenses for the first year are a little shy of $2 million.
With a beginning cash balance of $3,123,351, we were able to increase cash to almost $4 million by year end. Adding back the depreciation expense from year to year remains constant at $666,667. Since there was no change in the long-term debt payment on the bonds from each year, it did not affect the financing section. Our ending cash balance from each year remained positive and increased. The following is the bond schedule for the athletic facility bond, the higher education bond, and the general obligation bond we used to finance this project. After analyzing all the data and completing this feasibility study, we have concluded that the end zone expansion and addition of an interactive scoreboard is a good investment for West Virginia University. We believe that the increase in revenue from tickets sold, concessions, parking, merchandise, and the sale of seatback cushions will justify the expense of this renovation.
Along with the increased revenue, adding the scoreboard and updating our facility will increase the fan experience. The income from this project after the first year will add an additional $1 million to the University of West Virginia's football.
Even with a large amount borrowed from bonds, we are still able to maintain positive cash net income and able to pay off all bond payments. This project has a net gain every year after its completion, therefore we do find it feasible to do this expansion.
To determine the expansion of the stadium,
To further the funding, there are several types of bond that will be beneficial in raising the necessary means to complete this project. The following types of bonds are general obligation bonds, revenue bonds. Nope, that's not true. But if I was on a test.
You just